Hello, my darlings. My name is Victoria, and this is Veritas Tarot. Sagittarius, I am going to be doing your April reading for you and your person that you're thinking about. We're going to be looking at where you are energetically, where your person is energetically, the connection between you, that energetic connection between you. We're going to be looking at their intentions towards you, what you can do to help this connection, what Spirit is asking you to do to help this connection, and if you were to shift that little bit, what the potential outcome could be. And it's a reminder to us all that we're all energy, and emotion is energy, emotion. So sometimes we're emitting an energy that we may be unaware of. So if this reading resonates, you may get some little bit of clarity on that, and also a little bit of clarity on where your person that you're thinking about is right now. So let's have a look, first of all, my darlings, at where you are right now. Where is Sagittarius right now? Thank you. I've already blessed the cards. I just needed to do a little shuffle there, and now we're going to take a look. So thank you, Spirit. Where is Sagittarius right now? Thank you. For those that most need to hear this message. So you've got the 10 of crystals, stability and attainment. This is a wonderful start to the reading. This is the 10 of pentacles. And what this is saying to me is that you've gone through a transitional time, because the alligator here represents being both on land and water, and that is transitional. And it's a reminder to you, which I believe you're doing, that you're really beginning to appreciate, and at the bottom of the deck we've got the 10 of acorns, which is the 10 of wands. So you have gone through this transitional time. I just want to show you those two cards there side by side. So you've gone through this transitional time, and you've come into a place where you are, let's put that back on the bottom of the deck for a second, where you are really beginning to appreciate so much in your life. You've attained it. You've attained that goal of coming to a place where you're very much being. You're not looking, so you found yourself in the moment. You're not so much looking at yourself in the past. You're not so much worrying too much about the future. And you've worked very hard for where you have got to now. Excuse me just one second. Just don't want my little dog to interrupt the reading too much. Sorry about that. So you've worked very hard. You've done this essential groundwork, and this is very important time for you, because, as I said, I may have said at the beginning that we consciously or subconsciously manifest all of the time. So when we're doing it from a conscious space, and when we're doing it from a grateful space, the universe can respond much faster to us and bring in what we are wishing for, because it's as above, down below. Everything we wish to happen in our life has already happened, but it's out there in the 5D. And this being grateful in the moment, and being in the moment, and not, you've as I said, you've found yourself right here and now. And it talks about the 10 of Pentacles, that pentacles represent that health, that wealth, that manifestations, whatever abundance may mean for you. But there's always room. We never stop growing. We never stop evolving. We never stop changing. We are always consciously or subconsciously making a difference in our lives with every single thought and action that we do. We're creating that reality the whole time. And so you've worked hard. There's room for growth and change. And the 10 of Pentacles talks about blessings coming in your way, that success, that prosperity, those manifestations that you're wishing for. You've come from, this is the 10 of acorns at the bottom of the deck. You see here responsibility and dedication. You're very loyal to the person that you're thinking about. Very loyal indeed. And you have come to a place, or come from a space, where I think you were doing so much for others the whole time. You were taking on so much. Family means so much to you. Loyalty means so much to you. You very trusting. You have a willingness to take on things, to do things for other people, and there's a determination to you as well. But this is also a reminder, which you are very much aware of, that there is sometimes taking on too much, just like the donkey represents taking on too much, and having healthy boundaries as well, and set your limitations. And it's about letting go sometimes of what you feel may be the expectations of others on you, and learning to say no as well. But the donkey was rewarded by God for being that loyal, trusty donkey, you know, at the cross, and all donkeys then, you know, the lovely story of receiving the cross on their back. So this ties in so beautifully with this Ten of Pentacles. There are blessings coming in for you now, and you're really beginning to see them. Thank you, Spirit. You're really beginning to see them now come into your reality. You've had a great deal of surprises and delights coming in. So let's have a look at where your person is right now, my darling. Let's see where they are energetically in their space. Thank you, Spirit. Where is Sagittarius's person that they're thinking about? Where are they right now in their space? Thank you. That wanted to come out. So, wow, there are so many tens. We've now had 3 tens. They're in this 10 of swords space, 10 of feathers, 10 of swords, recovery and transformation. What I want to say here, first of all, that I really feel that you are both coming to an end of one cycle before you enter a new cycle because of the tens here. You both had at the bottom of the deck, once I lifted up that the 10 of wands, you had the hermit card, and now they've got the hermit card sitting there. So there has been a huge amount of reflection, of contemplation, and of wisdom gained from that, because we don't necessarily learn from our experiences. We learn from the willingness to reflect on those experiences. And that's a very important difference, because sometimes otherwise, if we don't observe and reflect on things that have happened to us and why they've happened to us and what our reaction was to them and how that makes us feel, and if we think it's a trigger or something, then we will repeat that same cycle. The universe gives us that same experience over and over again. But you've both gone and done what a recent term I've come up with, deep inner doing. You're a little bit further forward on your path with this 10 of Pentacles. You've really come through and you've done so much inner healing. They're at this 10 of Swords space, but again, as I said, it's at the end of a cycle. And the 10 of Swords is obviously not a very comfortable space to be, but that dawn is coming up normally in the 10 of Swords cards. It's just rising, it's just arising, and so there is a new dawn, a new start coming through. The snake, you see, is wonderful representation in the 10 of Swords, because the snake talks about shedding the skin. It's a rebirth card, and how beautiful here, Easter, rebirth, renewal, that this card has come out. And so it's the shedding of the skin, is the shedding of the old ways of thinking, the old ways of being, the old ways of thinking that were very harmful to themselves, the old ways that they told themselves they were or are, and the old ways that maybe other people had told them to, and in that space anymore. So the universe is giving them experiences and thoughts and feelings that are allowing them to do that inner reflection and to shed that negativity and to transform. I think they're really tired of where they are. And the other beautiful thing about a snake is they can't hear. So what this is saying to me, what Spirit is saying to me, is they have tuned out a lot of negative thoughts that they were giving themselves, and also tuned out of a lot of responses they were getting to things. So they haven't allowed indirect perception to stop whatever this is, whatever healing that they're going through, whatever change and transformation they're going through. And this has been a very subconscious thing, because when the snake can't hear, the snake can only see. And that's about the snake, and only the snake has direct perception of where they're heading. And they rely on that direct perception. That's their intuition as well. They rely on that direct perception. So they have to go within to feel it and to hear it. And this is exactly the same way your person is as well. So, and the snake is a master of this transformation, of shedding old ways. So they have really, really come to a place. I mean, they've done a lot of work, and it may not be very obvious to you. The snake hides in the shadows, but it has happened. And in the beginning of this reading now, you've had 3 tens, and you've also had the Hermit card appear twice. So this is a beautiful, very deep connection and journey between you. So let's have a look now at that connection between you two. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. The connection between Sagittarius and their person. So you've got the Queen of Acorns has appeared right in the middle of this reading, and this is represented here by the little deer. And the deer for me this is you. I know it's the connection between you, but I think what I'm feeling, because the deer is heading towards the 10 of feathers, the snake, what I'm feeling with this is that you have, because you've gone through, you know, the Queen of Acorns, the Queen of Wands, she knows what she wants. She's very passionate about what she wants. She's incredibly creative. She's incredibly kind. She's a visionary, very loving as well. And she is ruled by the heart. Now, you could be a him or a her. I talk she because it's the Queen of Wands here, but if you're in your feminine energy, this is you too, if you're masculine. And she's ruled by the heart, and she has boundless energy. And that energy is boundless because she is loving what she is doing. She is loving where she is being. And so that energy is a very creative energy. It's a very forward, fast-moving energy, and it's going in the right direction. So whatever you are doing, my darling, and with the Queen of Wands as well, she's very sensitive. She's sensitive to herself. She's sensitive to others. You're really tapping into those energies right now. You're really in your feminine side, and you're manifesting your dreams. And that is giving you a self-awareness, a self-confidence, a self-respect, and you're feeling it and seeing it in relationships that you have with other people around you. There's been a ripple effect. But as that Queen of Wands, you're heading towards that snake, and you're not scared of that snake. And and so the deer is representative of you moving forward with your journey, with whatever this 10 of crystals is, this 10 of pentacles, but in a way that you're being open to this connection, to this 10 of feathers, to this 10 of swords. The snake is pointing the other way, but they're very aware of you, and you're very, if there has been things to forgive, you've forgiven them, and it's given you peace, and you understand them, and you have compassion for them. And again, you're not wary of them, you're not scary of them. You're just doing your thing at the moment. I hope that makes sense with the connection between you two. So let's, on the bottom of the deck now, you've got the 5 of feathers, which is the 5 of swords. So for me, that's talking about, you know, whatever, because they've got the 10 of feathers, you know that you also played a part in where they are right now. You know that this was not, whatever happened between you two, this wasn't something that was all them. This was a combination of the two of you together. And I'm really feeling like this is a relationship with whom obviously you know somebody, and you accept the part that you played as well, but you've moved forward from that. So let's have a look, see what their intentions are towards you at this time, my darling. Thank you. Sagittarius' person's intentions. So they're, bless them, bless their little cotton socks. They're in the 5 of cups place at the moment, 5 of shells, hope, and I think it says readjustment. So, and at the bottom of the deck, you've got the 9 of feathers. So they're feeling trapped at the moment. Now they could be trapped in another relationship, but I'm not feeling that so much. I'm feeling they're just caught and trapped still in that space that they're in. They're still going through that deep level doing. They're still going through that subconscious healing, that subconscious transformation. They're very protective of themselves. This is the 9 of feathers at the bottom of the deck here. Okay, so there's the porcupine there. So they've got up a protective energy around themselves, and they feel the need to protect themselves. And it's asking them as well, which they are beginning to do with this 10 here, is to step back and do that observing, to do that reflection, and to adjust their perspective on things, to have that direct perception of their soul, have the direct perception of their soul, pure loving energy in as many things as they possibly can, rather than that ego, pain-driven, indirect perception of themselves that they've conditioned themselves to think and feel the way they are. And with this little cups, with this 5 of cups, this little firefly here, do you see that light there? What I'm feeling is that this hope and this readjustment that's happening, although they're still in that space of feeling, oof, what's happened to my life? where have I, why am I here where I'm here now? Why aren't I there? And there's a feeling of remorse, there's a feeling of regret, there's a feeling of a really deep sadness. It's, the spirit is saying to you that this is a reminder that things aren't always as they seem. So although they may, you feel, be ignoring you and in this Ten of Feathers place and everything, actually there is a spark that's happened. There's a glow that's coming from within, and that is that glow of light and hope, because they are starting to get that direct perception. They're starting to see things differently, and they're starting to, because they have to, whatever journey they are on, they have to go through it first for themselves. They have to do that self-love, they have to do that healing, they have to come into a place where they are, have that, just like you have that confidence and that worthiness and that respect for themselves, because otherwise your energies can't align back together, because you'll both be in a different place energetically. So they have to keep, they're being asked to do this inner work, but they are beginning to release that sorrow. They're beginning to release that sadness, and it's helping them to have a renewed outlook. And they really are learning from their lessons, and they're being guided by their soul. That's that light within them, because we always talk about, you know, going through a tunnel, transformative time is, and the light is at the end of the tunnel, but it's not. It's about coming home to oneself, and the light's within you. The answers all lie within you. So that's their intentions at the moment. They're still in a space, I was about to say deep level doing, and I looked to the side and there is the star card, peace and healing. They're in a place of deep healing at the moment. And this star card with the swan, I just did an Instagram post the other day thinking about this star card when I talked about deep level doing. The swan represents obviously loyalty as well, and extraordinary love and connection between you, because swans mate for life. This swan represents hope and blessings and your wishes coming in for you. But it talks about whatever's happened between you two. There has been, and there continues to be, a period of transformation and healing going on. And the swan swims, is it the word swims, through those waters of trust, but underneath those waters, their legs are working very hard. So that's the deep level doing going on. And that is causing, with that movement of those legs, that ripple effect in the water, which represents emotions, which represents that life path. It's causing that ripple effect of relationships both you have with them energetically and with others, and them with others as well. It's causing a ripple effect in those relationships in a very positive way. So let's have a look at what you can do, my darling, to help this connection. Thank you, Spirit. What can Sagittarius do to help this connection? I definitely wanted to fly out. Again, the Hermit's come out too, as well at the bottom of the deck. And I just want to show that to you first. Contemplation, wisdom, and immediately, although we all understand what the Hermit card means, it's about having that garden shed moment. It's about having time alone. Do you know that silence and being silent and listen, if you flip the letters, they're the same. They use the same letters, silent and listen. So that's what the Hermit card represents. Appreciate silence, respect silence, listen in the silence for the answers that come to you, and say thank you for the answers before they come, because they will come, because that's your higher. When you are wanting to be in that moment and be happy with yourself, you are being open to your soul talking to you, to your higher self, to that piece of divinity, that piece of source energy. And you see here this koala, and everybody loves koalas. They're sitting there with that little smile on their face up in the tree, and that talks about seeing things from your higher self. So this is one of the things that Spirit's saying: continue to trust, continue to contemplate, continue to trust in divine timing, continue to do the inner work that you're doing as well. And you've got here the Seven of Swords. Now the Seven of Swords in the traditional tarot talks about there has been deception, there has been, somebody has gone back to repeat a cycle, they've left behind heartbreak, they've left behind clarity, they've left behind truth. It generally is a temporary situation. And I think there is still some healing for you to do a little bit with whatever has happened. However, what this card is really they're shouting at me more about is the cheetah is very resourceful and very focused on reacting swiftly to things. So it says to me that there is going to be change coming in, and you will be asked to react swiftly to that change, and it'll happen very fast. And rather than continuing to focus on potentially a lack of, when you're thinking about this person, if they're not around you, but to focus on the time that you've been given now, be very grateful that time. Brings me back to the Ten of Pentacles. And to also closely observe, because the cheetah closely observes things. So it comes back to observing what is happening, because everything, I know I say this a lot, but everything happens for you. It doesn't happen to you, and it's how you choose to receive it that's the gift. And if there is anything that is you would consider problematic in your life right now, there's always a solution, and it'll always come in at the right time for you. So that's in relation to your person, okay? And I want to now just pull for you what the outcome could potentially be if you make that small adjustment. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. So you have got the Three of Acorns on the bottom of the deck, which is the Three of Wands. And the Three of Wands is that wonderful manifestation card, and being able to see the horizon like the draft, be able to see over all those obstacles, those problems, and know what's happening. So this is saying your manifestations are coming in. And with the Three of Wands, it's saying that they're coming in closer than you may think. So that's very beautiful. And it says there, what does it say? Foresight and exploration. So what they're also saying to me is that be open to all sorts. You may think there is only one way forward. What Spirit is saying, be open to all sorts of things, all sorts of adjacent possibilities, other possibilities, because if we become focused on that one manifestation that we want, we have a tendency to block the other things that the universe wants to bring in for us. So it's about being open and grateful for anything the universe is choosing to bring in for us, and to see it from our higher self point of view, that everything, every experience, every sign, every synchronicity, every step that we take when we feel it's the right step is always for our soul's greatest good. It's always for our soul's evolution. And every relationship we have is for that soul's evolution. And you've got the Queen of Feathers, perception and truth. So if you continue to, as I said, do this, be open to new possibilities, jump on opportunities that are given to you, continue to closely observe, you are going to have a very extraordinary radar-like perception, that direct perception of yourself and that truth. You're going to receive that. You're going to give that to yourself by being open to trusting in what you know. And the Queen of Swords, the bat represents having that perception, even in the darkness, having that perception. And you've come to a place where you as the Queen of Swords, you very much wish to speak your truth. You will not, how do I say this? You don't want to be given situations or people in your life that are hiding behind something. You prefer transparency. You prefer somebody to be vulnerable, because in them being vulnerable and transparent, they're also speaking their truth as well. You are incredibly fair, and you are always giving, but you do. You've set up healthy boundaries, and very much, literally, like a queen sitting in a court, you will receive gratefully and happily your person, but as long as they speak their truth. And then you've got the Temperance card, which is balance and harmony. Now, I know there may be a few groans from you, because the Temperance card is patience card. But what this is also saying to me is whatever happens is going to be harmonious. It's going to be in divine timing. It's going to be in a time that works for both of you. And in the meantime, the universe with the Temperance card is also saying that it's happening in divine timing. It's happening in divine timing. We have a different perception of time, and it's bringing that, as I said in the earlier part of the reading, it's bringing in that harmony, that balanced energetic harmony between you has to come into that alignment before you come back together in that 3D. So just allow your soul to guide you on this, and trust in your knowing that you do have. I've been asked to pull one more card, and I'm going to pull it from my Legacy of the Divine Tarot. Thank you, Spirit. Any other messages for Sagittarius? Thank you. So you've got here the Three of Swords. And I was thinking about your person at this time, and this is very beautiful. So this is what they've shown me. Three of Swords, the Hangman, and then the Three of Cups. So now you've got the two lots of threes, and the 3 and 3 makes 6. 6 is the balance, talks about balance. So what is happening right now, or what has happened, is that you both have gone through this Three of Swords. Okay, and what I'm seeing here is that you and now they are starting to, you were vulnerable, you showed it, you felt it, you showed it to everybody how you felt at the time. But they are starting to do that as well, because this is what the balance is all about. They're starting to be much more open about their feelings and how they feel. This Hangman is about starting to see things from a different perspective. Okay, and actually, sorry, am I going to hang it upside down? There we are. I didn't have them hanging. So this is about seeing things from a different perspective. Okay, this is about having that direct perception. This is about letting go of things that no longer serve them. This is about a fork in the road for them and a decision that needs to be made. But they're choosing to be where they are right now because this is where they want to be. And I think this is really important. If they're going to come to you right, sorry, excuse me a second. Sorry about that. This is very important. What you do not want to happen is them to come rushing in for the wrong reasons, to come rushing in because they're feeling lonely, to come rushing in because, they miss you. It's to come in for the right reasons, because they have done that inner work on themselves. They're coming with love for themselves. They're coming with that self-confidence. They're coming with that self-worth, that self-respect. They're coming for the right reasons. And what this is saying to me is, with the moon there, they are going and doing that inner work. The moon is the intuitive, represents the intuitive feminine side of it. So if they have been in that divine masculine side, in that ego pain body side for a while, that's going now. The moon represents them trusting their intuition, listening to their feelings. The moon represents that there are still things that are secret, still things that are yet unknown, still things that will happen, they'll come to them in time. Do you see there with the mirror? So the mirror for me talks about they're actually now looking at themselves in the mirror, and they're seeing how their life has reflected back at them, their thoughts and feelings and what has happened. They're beginning to have an awareness of that, and they want that to be the change. But they, just like this Hangman, and you see the time thing here, I never know what they're called, I can't remember, but that is, it's almost imbalanced there. It's slightly tilted to one side. And with that 3 and that 3, and this almost coming into balance, they are very close to the end of that 10 of cycle, that cycle. And I've got something beautiful to show you in a second. And this is why it's so important that you leave them be. You let them go through what they need to go through at their own pace, not your pace, at their own pace. It's very important that you release any expectations of them, because if you have expectations of somebody, and if they're not in that space that you are, then it just brings disappointment. So leave them be, that everything is happening. They're releasing a lot of things that no longer serve them. And this is bringing them into, and this is what they're looking at, 3 of Cups. And we know that 3 of Cups is that wonderful card of celebration. It's a reunion card as well. It's that inner calling card too. So they're coming into the space of this 3 of Cups, and they are allowing, they've got soul family around them or people around them that are helping them. Do you see here with almost like those little sunflowers in the glasses? And they almost, Where before they might have had, you know, when you say your cup is overflowing, they may have almost had like cling film over that cup, and they wouldn't allow any emotions to sit in there. And now that cup is overflowing. And, you know, I'm getting music here, so I don't know if that means anything for anybody, but they're hearing and they're feeling things in music, they're hearing things in music, but music is talking to them, and music is one of the ways that our soul does talk to us. And then what's so beautiful, do you remember that you had your Queen of Wands as the connection between you, and you're leaping towards that snake with no scaredness, or complete bravery and joy and love in your heart. Look what's now on the bottom of the deck. You've got the King of Wands. So this very much is a passionate, beautiful, empowered couple. And 7, do you see the 7 there? That 7 represents that spiritual guidance that they are receiving at this time. They're very protected there. They're very protected. And the King of Wands, again, is so passionate, deep in thought about you. But they need this time to come into balance, and that's why the Temperance card appeared, and that's why those 2 lots of 3s. You have a lot of balance in this reading with the 10s and the 3s, and now you've got you had the Hermit kept appearing here twice, and then you had the King and the Queen of Wands. So you are completely connected. You keep moving forward on your journey, my darling, and you hold the space. You keep moving forward and you hold the space. So I hope that helped and resonated with those that were meant to come and see this message. And I will be doing some more readings for you in a couple of weeks' time. But in the meantime, take care and stay safe. Bye-bye.